Hey there, Swabbies, and welcome to another Power Rangers Super Megaforce episode review. Today we do a little bit of Kung Fu fighting as we review episode 6, Spirit of the Tiger. We start with the Rangers taking a nice little trip to the zoo. This is actually a great location shot that gets us out of that school, mall, fight tedium. A commotion leads the Rangers over to the tiger exhibit where they see a man working at the zoo raking some grass, standing right next to a tiger who really couldn't care less. Anybody who's been watching the show for a while knows who the man is, but just in case, why don't we save that reveal for a little bit later. After walking around some more, the Rangers stop for a quick juice break, and Noah will not shut up about animal trivia. You're a nerd. We get it. Emma takes some rather stalkerish shots of the man in the tiger enclosure who's now putting on a jacket with an interesting red logo on it. Gia offers Emma her juice, they switch juice for camera, and Gia gets to see the logo as well. Up on the Armada warship, the latest commander appears. Pachu? No, that's not it. Cha-cha-cha? No. Park Place and Broadway? No. His name is Pachachamik. He's named after an archaeological site and actually has the same exact name that he did on Gokaiger. Argus says that he's an expert in hand-to-hand combat. I wonder if the two giant hands on his shoulders gave that away. Anyway, Vakar tells the commander, who I'm going to call Pacha for short, that he had better defeat the Rangers or face his wrath. Since usually most monsters that don't defeat the Rangers explode, I consider that kind of an empty threat. Back at the school, Jake is hound-dogging for Gia yet again. He asks Emma where she is, and Emma says that Gia's already left for Ernie's, but she's meeting her there and he's free to come along. As they walk through the park, they talk about Gia, and honestly, while it's a bit playful dialogue, it really almost comes off to paint them more like slight romantic rivals. I know, the show would never actually go there, but it really just seems like they painted it more than a guy talking to his crush's best friend. Oh, and as they walk through the park, they pass by Tiger Man, who is now training a group of Kung Fu students. The two of them see and finally meet the Tiger Man, whose name is Casey. He talks to them about his animal-based Kung Fu style, but then their morphers go off and they run off to take that call. The Rangers show up to fight Pacha in Megaforce and immediately go super because Megaforce is officially useless. On a good note, the Super Megamorph now has the Rangers saying their colors instead of just ready. Pacha has the ability to steal all of the team's weapons, and he does so. Jake and Emma attack hand-to-hand, but are sorely beaten up. The other three Rangers go Legend mode into Wild Force and kick Pacha's butt, which causes him to run away. Back on the Armada ship, Vakar is whining about him letting the Rangers off the hook, but Levira promises an upgrade. The demorphed Rangers regroup, and Troy is pissed. He declares a Ranger must never let go of their weapons. He storms off with Noah and Gia following, while Jake and Emma walk off in another direction. Jake reiterates Troy's point. A Ranger must never let go of their weapons. Alright, I've got the Ranger rules right here. Okay, let's see here. Alright, never escalate a battle. Alright, yeah. Never use your powers for personal gain. Okay. Never reveal your identity as a Power Ranger unless you work for an organization. Yep, okay. Hey, Troy, this has never been a rule. Rangers drop their weapons all the time. The worshipped as gods, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers once had their weapons eaten by a giant pig. So, Jake and Emma actually use their brains on this and decide that it might be better to fight this monster the way the monster fights. No weapons. Hand-to-hand. Like animals. So, yep, they go find Casey and ask him to train them. Sure, he says. Bring that bucket into the tiger cage. They're scared, but they do it, and he eventually agrees to train them. And by the way, the tiger wasn't hungry. Meet me at the park tomorrow at dawn, he says. So Jake and Emma meet Casey the next day in the park at a time that is clearly around 9 or 10 in the morning. And I sure hope it's a weekend. Back at school, Gia finds Noah asleep in the computer lab. He says he was there all night, but I think he may actually live there. Anyway, he was looking up Ranger weapons, trying to find something that the monster wouldn't be able to snatch. Troy comes in to tell them class is about to start. By the way, remember that Troy once skipped class to stand on a beach and ponder where Robo Knight is. And when Noah says, "Hey, I've been looking up weapons," Troy couldn't possibly care less. He's already figured out the solution to the problem. A ranger never lets go of their weapons, so they just won't let go. As Noah's closing out the website, Gia recognizes the logo from Casey's jacket as that of the Jungle Fury Power Rangers. The next part of the episode cuts back and forth a little bit, but basically Gia and Noah start to figure out who Casey is, while Jake and Emma train under him. In a nice touch, Casey tells Jake that he has the spirit of the snake, and Emma that she has the spirit of the phoenix. Never minding the fact that Phoenix was a Rinzin spirit in Jungle Fury, these are their Zords and powers in Megaforce, so that was a nice connection. They connect to their animal spirits, which is signified by purple shimmeriness. Pacha attacks the city once again. The other three Rangers show up, apparently missing class after all, once again arriving in Megaforce and immediately transforming to Super. I don't know, maybe the Megaforce powers help them run to the fight faster? Troy once again preaches the "don't let go of your weapon" garbage, and this time when Pacha tries to steal the weapons, they actually manage to hold on to them. So, of course, they then decide to fight without them anyway. Tenso calls Emma and Jake, and Casey says that they should answer their morphers. How did he know? All together, class. Casey is the Jungle Fury Red Ranger, and he knew who they were the entire time. He just needed to make sure that they were ready. Probably something about learning from him because of his skill and not just learning from another Ranger. They're excited and impressed, but they have to run off. Jake and Emma show up at the fight in Megaforce and see the other three in super mode beaten up. This is the only thing that is kind of neat about having the Megaforce suits, seeing them and Super Mega suits on screen at the same time. They go super, the team gets back together, and they eventually transform into Jungle Fury. Although this time we get an American shot at the beginning of the morph because it covers up another Sentai team. What's the criteria for doing this anyway? The Rangers talk about using their animal spirits while morphed into a team that uses an entirely different set. The only one that's anywhere close is Gia. Her animal spirit should be a tiger, and she's using cheetah powers. Oh, and Jake says, "Purple Wolf!" Wrong! Wolf Ranger is the correct term, and in a pinch you could say Violet Wolf, because it was Geki Violet on Geki Ranger. Come on, Jason Smith. You wrote this episode and you were in Jungle Fury. You know better. The Rangers beat up Pacha, go back to Super to use Super Mega Blast, blow him up, and it's Zord time. At first the Rangers use their cannons, but then they remember the whole hand-to-hand thing and fight that way. Their Jungle Fury keys glow, they have unlocked a new power. They use the Jungle Fury Final Strike, Animal Spirits Full Fury. This is the first Megazord power that hasn't been a Zord. The spirits of the Jungle Fury Zords charge Pacha, kaboom, game over. The Rangers return to the zoo so that Jake and Emma can introduce Casey to the others. They ask another zookeeper, but he says, nobody named Casey has ever worked at that zoo. To make things stranger, as Troy is giving a frankly great speech, congratulating each member of the team for their hard work and saying that he needs to learn to listen to his team more, Jake and Emma see Casey practicing in a nearby gazebo. But just as they say, "Look!" he literally vanishes. That took it one step too far for me. I actually really liked the idea of Casey just working his way into the zoo just to help the Rangers. But this? I mean, was he even real? I really, really liked this episode. A tribute episode should channel the spirit of the season that it's honoring, and this felt just like an episode of Jungle Fury. Let's hoist the colors. Episode 6, Spirit of the Tiger. Pros: the feeling of Jungle Fury. nice team dynamic, and a good part of a larger story. Cons: show has a way of inventing drama. Megaforce suits are meaningless. A couple of confusing decisions. Spirit of the Tiger raises 4 black flags out of 5. Wow, the second episode of the season to get a 4 pays tribute to a season with a team that had a cat-themed Red Ranger, which is totally different from the other episode to get a 4, which paid tribute to a season where the team had a cat-themed Red Ranger. I guess I'm really looking forward to the Lost Galaxy tribute, huh? Quick scheduling note to throw in here. There is not a new episode of Power Rangers Super Megaforce this week. Don't worry, it's not the dreaded hiatus time. The show is coming back April 5th with Silver Lining Part 1. Alright, we've reached the end of another Power Rangers episode review. Make sure to click that like button below the video. Subscribe to see these reviews every week there's a new episode. You can click the boxes to see the review of last week's episode, Samurai Surprise, and the most recent editions of Almost Interesting, my vlog, Almost Gaming, and the Miami Sports Report. Tune back in April 7th for our next review, Silver Lining Part 1. Thanks so much for watching, stay tuned for Walking the Plank, and until next time, may the power protect you. Oh shoot, dagnabbit. That really wasn't, nah. His name is Slim Shady. Anyway, the card tells, somebody, but she's meeting her there, and back at the school, Jake is hound dogging for Gia, or somebody, or Tom. On the way, as they walk through the park, back at the school, Jake is a Power Ranger. The other 3 Rangers go legend mode, legend mode. Pacha has the ability to steal all of the team's weapons. Jake and Jake and Jake and Jake and Jake and Emma and Jake. And kick Pacha's butt, which causes him to run away. On the Armada ship! Back on the Armada ship, the car is whining about something, because he always is, isn't he? He's a whiner. Alright, got the Ranger rules right here. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Here we go, right here. Right here. Here we go. Here we go, right here. Here we go. Right here. Right here. Here we go. Here we go, right here. Right here. Here we go. Alright, got the Ranger rules right here. Let's see here. What the heck is that first rule again? Never escalate a battle. I knew that. So, Jake and Emma decide to... No, I can't say decide, because... By the way, remember that Troy once skipped class to blah, blah, blah. As Noah's closing out the website, Gia sees a logo that... Hi! Hi again! These are their powers and Zords in Megaforce, so that was a nice connection. Last line. But basically, Gia and Noah figure out who Troy... But basically, we've been... Son of a biscuit. In a nice touch, Pacha attacks the city once again, and the 3 Rangers... Because it was Geki Violet on Geki Ranger. Right? Over here? Come on, Jason Smith. Come on, Jason Smith. Hi! Sticky record button at work once again. Wow, the second episode of the season to get a 4... that had a... Subscribe to see the reviews every week. There's a new episode. You can click to be able to read the script.